Welcome aboard, everybody. In a continuation of our series, today we are flying from Wellington in New Zealand to Queenstown, and that's a challenging approach. For our departure, we don't technically need it, although Wellington is a shorter runway. It's about 5,900 feet long. We're going to do a flaps 25 bleeds off takeoff. Flaps 25 to get us lift earlier on the runway, and the bleeds off to give us more power. And the air conditioning packs will be powered by the APU. So we keep the APU running for the takeoff, and then we reconfigure after takeoff and switch the APU off. So for the arrival into Queenstown, it will be about an hour flight. The arrival into Queenstown, there are low clouds, and so they might fall below our minimums, and in which case we might have to do missed approach and do a diversion to Christchurch. This is something that we are actually planning for a later flight, the testing the missed approach and then doing a diversion. But today's flight was intended just to land in Queenstown, but we may actually have to do a diversion. So I'm not ready for that totally, but we'll give it a shot. So here we are. We're doing a full live stream today, where you can actually chat. But that's the airfield, and let me give you another look at. I am flying with a buddy, my buddy David. He is in the Air New Zealand 607 aircraft, and I'm in my Bonza flight number 838. Now I just have a little bit of configuration to do to display my registration tag correctly on my displays here. Should read Victor Hotel Uniform Juliet Tango, so I'm going to update that now. So Victor Hotel Uniform Juliet Tango. Okay, that's fixed. There's no ATC in Wellington at the moment, and we probably won't get any. And I don't see any in Queenstown either. So we may be ATC free. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. So the sequencing right now, it's 121. Our pushback time, David's pushback time is 1:30, and mine is 1:35, but we may be able to do simultaneous pushbacks. Yeah, David, I'm not sure I've ever pushed back in the scenery before. I'll try it. I've got to do a pushback facing right, so maybe it will work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look at the chart.
So we can actually push back independently. So we can do it at the same time, as I take longer to start my engine.
Are you ready now?
Let me get my APU going. and then I'll tell you when I'm ready. Doors are closed. So operate the jetways. Yeah, you look like a regional jet to me. I guess that's my fault.
What livery?
Plain vanilla white.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a Qantas. I just used my usual Qantas livery. I forgot to change it out to Air New Zealand, but I've got an Air New Zealand call sign.
That's interesting. I mean, I swear sometimes I see you in Qantas. Just today I'm not. That's weird.
Well, I guess VATSIM will see me flying a Boeing where the Air New Zealand call sign requires an Airbus. And so it probably gets a bit confused and, you know, must put me in as a regional jet. I don't know what sort of, I assume it's Airbuses they fly on this route.
Okay, APU bleed on. So we have to do things in a very specific order today to do the bleeds off. And I've got a cheat sheet here to tell me the order of things I need to do. And really that unusual procedure starts after I've started the engines and I'm ready to taxi. I have to do some configuration changes. Okay, I got my APU running. How about you? Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. I might make a ground call.
Okay. Okay, guys, we are pushing back. I'm gonna try to push back facing
Just need to find a pen.
east. Sorry, was that right? Facing west, actually. Wellington traffic. Bonds 838 at stand 17 is pushing back facing west. Wellington traffic. All right, let's call. Oops. Let's call.
Wellington traffic, Air New Zealand 607, pushing back, stand 15, nose to the north, sorry, to the south, Wellington traffic.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alrighty. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's put the packs off.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
This is actually quite nice Wellington scenery. David, I'm flying with David today. It looks like he's in a white regional jet, but is actually in a Qantas 737-800. We of course are in a 737 MAX, and again we are flying in the first Bonza 737 MAX 8. Victor Hotel Uniform Juliet Tango, and the aircraft is named Shazza. Okay, so now we are doing nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Release parking brakes. Pushing at 128.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, let's get all the fuel pumps on and start engine number 2. David's pushing at the same time. So we are gonna taxi to the south, motoring 21% and 2. So we're gonna go down to this end of the runway. Okay, fuel flow on.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Unlocking gear.
Roger. So whenever we do that flight where, and it may be today's flight, I don't know. I hope it's not today's flight. I hope we're just landing, but the cloud cover is apparently quite thick in Queenstown, so we may have an issue. But
Tow truck disconnected.
doing this flight with a diversion to Christchurch would be very interesting.
Left is clear, right is
You know,
clear.
we've got the bleeds off takeoff from here, and then we've got the, okay, engine number 2 started, engine number 1 starting. Yeah, so you got the flaps 25, bleeds off takeoff from here. Got a missed approach at Queenstown, and then what we would do in that case is go into the holding pattern and you know, the designated holding pattern at Queenstown, and then reconfigure our flight management computer for the diversion to Christchurch. And I have listed Christchurch as the diversion or the alternate airport. Fuel flow on.
Wellington traffic, New Zealand 607, taxiing via Bravo to the Bravo and Alpha to the Alpha
Okay, so it's not a long taxi. So you can see the mist and haze in the air. Okay, so we've got 2 engine starts. So let's put the probe heats on. and we'll get the, let's just double check to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. Okay, so leave APU on. All right. Okay, we're gonna get the engines on the bus. Okay, leave the APU on, right pack to auto. So right pack to auto. Okay, close the isolation valve. So we're gonna close the isolation valve and then left pack to auto. Left pack to auto. Then engine bleeds off. So both these engine bleeds go off. So now the bleed air is being provided by the APU. Leave APU bleed on. That's it. So that's the configuration for the takeoff. Taxi light on. And anything else? Looks like we're good. Let's just put the destination airfield altitude. Is elevation is 1,171. Guess that's the closest. 1150. Okay, set flaps 25. Flaps 25. Testing. Controls. Right. Forward. Back. We're getting an aircon. We're doing a trip reset. I'm not sure why the aircon APU bleed is on. Okay, I assume it's okay. Only the trip reset. On auto. Okay, let's do it. I don't know why that's not helping. Okay, so let's do the before taxi checklist. Before taxi, generators on, probe heats on, anti-ice not needed, isolation valves on, close, engine start switches continuous, recall has checked. Let's see, did that go up? Still going on. Auto brakes, RTO, engine start levers idle to 10, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist completed. Sys, full reset. We're ready. Wellington traffic, Bonza 838 is taxiing to holding point runway 34, and we are going via, let's see, probably Quebec, Bravo 7, and Alpha down to the holding point, Alpha 11, runway 34. Wellington traffic. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, to be quite honest. Why the aircon is coming on. Let's make sure nobody's coming on the right side, the left side. So we'll cut across Bravo 7. So our rotate is V2 is 135 knots, which is quite a bit lower speed than normally when we take off with flaps 5. I suppose you'd expect that. Okay, let's turn here.
Approaching 3, 4.
Wellington traffic, New Zealand 607, lining up runway 34. Traffic Wellington.
We also have a 210 knot restriction on this departure. We take off and then we loop around and we got to maintain 210 knots until we've done the full turn and traveling parallel in the opposite direction of the runway. Normally I'd come to this second spot, but I think just because it is a shortish runway, I'm going to stick to the longest available runway length. It is a little bit overkill to do flaps 25, no bleeds here.
I see Chris is going to join us.
Oh, is he?
He's just popped up on VATSIM.
Oh, okay, good.
He's at the terminal.
Wellington traffic, New Zealand 7, rolling runway 34, outside 1 for down. Traffic Wellington.
There goes David. Wellington traffic, Bonza 838 is lining up runway 34. David is airborne. Goes. Okay, I've got him on my ND.
Wellington traffic, New Zealand 607 is airborne, climbing through 1,200, flight level 360, traffic Wellington.
On runway 3, 4.
Okay, let's see how far away David is. Okay, once he gets beyond, maybe when he's around Gumji is when I'll take off. Okay, before takeoff, checklist, flaps are set, and trim is 4.3 required, 4.3 set. Hey Chris, you on Discord yet? You can see Chris is at the terminal. Wellington traffic. Bonza 838 is departing runway 34 on the upload 1 Romeo departure for Queenstown. Hey, welcome aboard, Chris. Okay, let's do this. I've never done a flaps 25 departure before. Okay, 40% stabilize, set takeoff thrust, toga, forward pressure on the controls. Non-derate,
80 knots.
80 knots. Check, release forward pressure. Rotate. Positive brake, gear up. That's one. That was quick. Maybe too quick. No, that's good. Command mode. We should have restrictions here. Yep, 210. So we want to flaps. Keep that flaps 1 there for a while. We basically got to keep it. Let's see, put the date on. It's 210 at NCAM. Oh no. We need to come down. Once we round NCAM, we should be able to increase our speed. There we are. Okay, so that's David at NCAM. Maintaining that 210. I've had to maintain flaps 1 through the turn.
Yeah, mine was right on it. Yeah, I just pulled my flaps up for performance. But yeah,
Just dial
I
up.
was right on the the speed.
Wellington traffic bonds. 838 is now climbing through 10,000 for flight level, final cruise at flight level 340, final call. Okay, flaps up. We're breaking through the clouds. Lights on. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, yep.
Okay, this going to the takeoff point.
All right. You know, David was observing the weather at Queenstown. We may have to do a missed approach there.
I'm going in all the way.
You're going in all the way. No time for a diversion.
No time. Don't work. And something's gone wrong with my sceneries. I got really bad scenery on Wellington for some reason.
Maybe delete it and reinstall it. You can get it from Sim Plaza.
Okay, so
it was okay yesterday.
good there. We can let folks out of their
something's gone wrong
seats.
after an update.
And what I'm doing now, start to just an auto.
You know, all the runways are all grayed out and kind of like no lines on it, stuff like that. So probably need a restart of the sim.
Okay, after takeoff config. So engine number 2 air bleed
Okay.
should go on.
Did you do the process?
APU bleed
update?
air off.
Yeah, I did.
Engine number 1 bleed air on. Okay. Isolation valve to auto. Okay. And then the APU can be shut off.
I noticed myself when I first joined Wellington, all the trees and the buildings were like placed 200 feet above.
So that completes the reconfiguration for the bleeds off takeoff. You can see we took off pretty quick, a low speed, so we're good to go. Now our next challenge is getting into Queenstown.
And a couple hundred feet above my head. It was really weird. It's like I was underwater.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my scenery. It's all like watercolored out, you know.
Okay, let's take a look at the weather.
And my pro sim also is not working 100%. I can't get my engine in range.
Radar at Queenstown. This part doesn't look so bad. Not seeing anything there. Let's take a look at the METAR. And Queenstown. So winds 220, which is good for the runway that we've selected. Overcast at 6,000. Ceiling at 6,000. Latest weather report at Queenstown is ceiling at 4,000, overcast at 6,000. 6,000, sorry. Winds 220, 14 knots. So now it's looking like it might be okay.
I need to look at the charts, but I recall that you had to be visual by 4,300 back in the day, but they might have changed the charts with the new RNAV technique.
Minimums I'm getting is 2,709 feet.
Oh, good.
So phew, we should make it. I didn't want to do that missed approach and diversion live without having practiced it. Okay, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do our after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds.
Yeah, I think there's something definitely wrong with the update of my version.
Tanks, auto,
Yeah, I think much is
landing
working.
gear is up. And flaps up. No
It's a
wings.
shame. I tend to find when I've done updates, be it a graphics driver or Windows or ProSim or Microsoft, I always reboot the system twice.
Yeah, it's probably something like that, but because I was in a rush to try to join you guys, but it's definitely not working out, but I'll try.
Jonah fuel was 11.4 just to see where we are. Fuel. Come on, where's Jonah? Yeah, don't get Jonah. I think that, yeah, because we did it.
Not getting an DNAT, we're warning
We
age.
should do Sabda.
Okay.
Sabda's here.
I probably have to restart the whole computer.
Sabda. Sabda expecting 10.8. It's looking like it's going to be 11. She's on target. Usually we're ahead and it's pretty good. We're also within 40 miles of our top of climb. David, straight ahead there, you heard that Chris is having some difficulty. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear the trouble, Chris.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Sunday 11. Okay, so if I was I will take it literally. Just 200 pounds over.
Anyway, I've already started looking at dismantling my jetmax, so I've taken out the glare shield and dropped and put it on the max lip just to test it out, see if it works.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, slowly once I get it, start to dismantle stuff, then we'll be able to fly for a couple of months, I guess.
Ah, it's going to take you that long to set it up?
Because I have to remove everything from the jetmax, take it and put it in the garage, and bring the other one in, make a platform. Yeah, and I'm working at the same time, so working nights and all that, so I don't have daytime to have much.
No, yeah, that's true. It is quite a change, right? Different platform footprint. Do you have the right machines to be able to drive it all?
Yeah, I've got two high-end ones now. So the thing is, I contacted Terry Thomas, who's a guy here in Wellington, who has his own full setup. And when he uses Sysmo, I asked him to come over one of these days to show me what needs to be done. Because apparently one of my modem has to be a static IFB address for Sysmo.
I use static IPs, but I reserve them back in the router. So
That's
in your router, you can enter in the MAC addresses of the computers that you want to have static IPs.
Yeah, I did it on my computer, but he says it has to be on your modem, so I don't know what it is about Sysmo. So he said to come over to help me out one of these days, so I said,
so
once I
runway
get
heading
the
is
jetmax out of the way, then I can
233.
get into the room where with all the computers.
Yeah, so all your flight sim computers, I assume you use Ethernet cable to connect them up. if you go into each of your flight sim computers, work out what the MAC address is for that Ethernet card, the MAC address, so the machine allocated code or whatever it's called. Write that down. It'll be like a, it's got like a 8 or 10 hexadecimal code. And then, so then once you've got those MAC addresses for your Ethernet cards for your computers, then go into your modem and we can reserve the IP addresses for those machines with that particular MAC address. So that's what I do. So I use, I don't do the 129.198 system. I do a 10.1.1.
Okay, decision height is 2,709 feet.
.10. My slave computer is .11. My Ethernet MCP is dot, I think 18.
Yeah, I'll deal with it when I come to that stage. The moment too much looking for me. I think.
2,709. And the ceiling was at 6,000, so we should be good actually for arriving.
First, I got to get this jet max out first. Dismantle the whole thing, the frame, the shell, everything has to come off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendant will shortly be making their way through the cabin to offer various beverages of your choice. There will also be a selection of drinks available for purchase, and we can accept most credit cards, cheque and cash. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to
Queenstown
ask.
is
Now I'd like you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
Will you have the 2 seats?
UNH is 1001.
I'll have a first officer with his most comfortable folding chair. I'll follow what Paul has done, a folding chair.
Yeah, they work.
Also, I gotta look for a yoke, but that's the material. I'm not really too concerned about having a 2-man seat at the moment. I just want to get it set up for the flight.
But does your MIP allow for 2 seats?
Yeah, it's a dual seater.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, like Paul's.
Yeah, but the MEL is just 1 seat and 1 yoke. You know, I don't even have seat belts. It's not even an option from flight deck. Okay, have I configured everything? So where are we now? Here we are. On our journey. Too bad we have clouds, but we're over water now. But flying alongside the coast of the South Island. And if we had, as you can see where we end up at Queenstown. But if we had to do our diversion, our alternate for the flight is Christchurch. So Christchurch is, you know, it's not the next waypoint from where we are now, but it's the one after that. November Zulu Charlie Hotel. So you have to double back quite far. But we made it Christchurch because we have that scenery for that airport. Otherwise, an alternate could have been Dunedin. Maybe. Not sure if we've got a big enough airfield. Christchurch is definitely big enough. Okay, so there is some weather around, but it's, you know, really minimal and not going to affect us. I think we're good. So I think it would be a good thing to review the arrival procedure.
Yeah, I'm going to steal bits and pieces off this jetpack, so I'm not sure I can even sell it off as a complete shell, a complete unit. So I may not get the money, but I'll come back to it.
So let's have a look at the legs. want to get to LRUB. It's the first point in the arrival. So LRUB, no restrictions on LRUB, but Pampu, we want to be at or above flight level 150.
I have a Jet Max MCP that probably needs
I'm
to
gonna make
be
it
sold off.
150. So
I'm
we're
taking the Jet Max MCP.
at that
because I
level
don't have one
already.
on the max. So
And
I'm just going to
that's-
steal the one.
next one is
Yeah, that's what I was
Evox.
thinking. I can throw my MCP in. I
We'll make that also.
don't know where I've got it stored, to be honest. Because I've got CP Flight MCP now. It's an Ethernet cabled machine.
You have a Jet Max
All of
FBS
these
one as
you
well?
have to go slow.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no, okay. Not the MCP, I mean the FMC. Oh my god. The CDU. I need to steal the CDU. Okay. Not the CDU.
Really want to be at Evox.
Yeah, what about the autopilot MCP panel? You got a new one?
Yeah, it's a
Let's
complete
make
one.
Evox,
The EFIS, MCP, both EP, both EPs.
Evox
Let's just put a picture on our group.
Let's just slow down to 230
Yep.
actually. Evox 230. Okay. And let's take another altitude somewhere here. Let's do the approach now. What do we have here? Okay, so all of this is an RNAV. I'm not going to attempt to do approach mode on this. But we should know that the missed approach, well, the missed approach for this is going to be 10,000 feet. So as we go off, no, there's the coastline. No, you can see it. That is the coastline that we are approaching here. In fact, Christchurch is slightly to the right of sector.
The thing I have to get is a couple of glaring brightness where it's expected.
So I just shared a pic, so you'll know what it looks like when it's all lit up.
Yeah. Tease me, come on.
What's the make of your throttle quadrant 4?
It's flight deck solution.
There's a guy in Tasmania, Mark Dolly. He contacted me and asked me whether I'm interested in the motorized throttle for 2,500.
Yeah, I guess, you know, to some degree, you're gonna get what you pays for, you know. Like some of the cheaper ones, they not as reliable, and also they make a lot of noise.
Yeah, his is FDS.
Oh, his is FDS. Okay. But is it motorized or not?
Yeah, motorized. Otherwise, what's the point in buying that one when I already got one?
That's true. So how much is he asking?
2,500 Australian.
Oh man, that's pretty good. How old is it?
I don't know. A couple of years.
That's a really good price, mate.
Yeah, it is for definitely for motorized. That's good.
I know, but I'm just thinking to myself, I'm just spending all this money, and then I'm looking at if motorized unit goes kaput for some reason, for this or something, then we got a lot of things to fix.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the motorized throttle, it's not just the throttle, right? So you also got the trim wheels that move. So it's like it helps to the cockpit to come alive, right?
Yeah, but I might not be alive if I don't buy this throttle after spending 4,000 on the max unit.
So, David, what's your strategy for this approach? At what point are you going to be at what speed?
I've got in the, hang on. So I've got the LROV 4 Bravo start for runway, doing R&D Zulu 23. And yeah, just make sure it's a bit of a steep descent, that last part, so you want to make sure you're not too high and too hot. So I actually put in a hard altitude. So there's a waypoint. Quebec November 760, and I've put that in as a hard altitude as 5,100. So on the star it had to be above that altitude, but I put that in as a hard altitude constraint just so I'm not finding myself too high and too fast.
Quebec November 760. You're saying what speed? I mean, what altitude?
Yeah, altitude 5,100. So on the star,
it
it'll
says
show you. Yeah, it says 5,100 on the star, but when you put it into the FMC, it puts it in. You should be 5,100 or above. So I've taken out the above part and just put in a hard altitude 5,100.
Okay, and then there's a holding point at Vox with a speed of 230 knots for the hold. Are you reducing to 230 at that point?
Heck box.
I put a hard 230 and 10,000 feet at that point.
Traffic detail 550, airborne through 1,900, climb fly level 350, check the
Oh, I see. Yeah, then you could put 10,000 in there if you wanted.
Yep. We got opposing traffic coming to our right side. Let's just go down to 15,000, flight level 150. That's our next altitude down. 150. What did I say? check. Charlie Hotel, it was 9.7. Charlie Hotel, 9.7. Okay, so we're gonna plan for 400 pounds more fuel. So 400 pounds more fuel will be 145.3. 145.3, and we're going to do a flaps 40 and autobacks 3, and we will go manual if we have to. Okay, looking at the airfield.
Just question traffic contained on mic. Starting on this.
Got an aircraft to our right. You see it? 2,000 feet above us, but about 10 miles away. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, folks. Just get back to the seats. Just buffeting is going on. We have prepared, so our landing runway 23, and we want to vacate at Alpha 4, and then our parking bay is parking bay number 4. Okay, let's push where I am, and there's David. See what useful nav aids there are. Let's see. Let's go to low, far. No NDB. Queenstown, 113.6. So the Queenstown VOR is going to be to the right. Not doing any approach modes, so the missed approach, you just follow missed approach, hit the toga, and if necessary go to double toga, but I don't think it should be necessary, and just follow this. You may have to do it manually initially, and then you engage LNAV, VNAV once we get away from the airfield, and then get to the holding point, Sungo, and it is 10,000 feet for the missed approach. Yep. Climb to 10,000 via the RNV missed approach track to the November Victor VOR and hold at Sungu 10,000 feet. So there's the November Victor VOR. So we should tune that. Oh, Sungu is there. There's Sungu, and then it's Invercargill. So we'll put Invercargill on the other side, which is 116.8. Wow, is that weird that that was plugged in my standby frequency?
Queenstown, traffic New Zealand, 073, flight level 013, Bravo, arrival, runway 23,
Alright, that was David advising on his descent. Top of descending 20 miles. David, what's your speed right now?
I'm slowing up to mark decimal 76 on percent.
Okay. So we'll do 27.6. Queenstown traffic, Bonza 838, currently at flight level 340. We'll be descending in 11 miles and expect to be on the ground via runway 34 at the 0248 Zulu. Queenstown traffic.
Should be runway 23, not 34. That was Wellington.
Okay, correction, Queenstown traffic, Bonds 838, expecting runway 23, not 34, 23. Queenstown traffic. Thanks, David.
Gotta keep you honest, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying to change my target descent speed in my FMC, and it's not letting me do a decimal 76 for some reason. 0.76. Okay, I must have fudged it before.
Confirmation
in
around arriving traffic to Queenstown below transition level, observing light turbulence.
What level was that for the turbulence?
Below level 130.
Below level 130. Thanks for the heads up there on the A38. Okay, we're descending. Descent checklist. Pressurization landing altitude has been set, and recall check. Don't have that aircon problem anymore. Auto brakes have been set to 3. Landing data VRAP flaps 40, 141 knots, and approach briefing has been completed. Descent checklist complete. What I do want to do is let's get a read on the QNH again. I think I did it once. So QNH is 1,000.
With your crossing, you get your aircraft bobbing up and down very, very slightly up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, a little bit.
They never got rid of that.
Queenstown traffic, we just wanted to ask the traffic, how many do you think you guys have to get home? I'm about to say well.
Yeah, New Zealand. I'm the first one to land. I'm due to land at Queenstown at 0242 Zulu. So we've got what's that time now? You've got a good 15 minutes before I'm approaching final. So yeah, go ahead and take off now, mate.
Roger, we'll do that. New Zealand 630, thank you very much.
And anyone that is departing Queenstown arriving into Queenstown, expect a moderate, light to moderate turbulence on the climb out on final descent, so it's because of those mountains.
Roger. Thanks for the heads up.
Thanks for the fire up. Yeah,
Man, this Unicom is amazing compared to the United States, like, oh my god.
No, definitely. I think they must calculate the range based on the density of traffic.
Yeah, but anyways, I have another pilot up before. We're getting moderate turbulence on the descent into Wellington, flight level 330.
Copy, thanks from New Zealand 550. We're currently passing flight level 283, no turbulence along the Yankee 175 from Glen on departure from Christchurch, heading to the north of the South Island.
Alright, our next restriction is 10,000. Let's dial that in. Getting a bit of splotchiness in the weather. It's nothing really terrible, but we'll probably put the engine start switches to continuous shortly. Tracking two different VORs. VOR 1 is the one that's to the north of the airfield, and VOR 2 is where we should be headed for the missed approach.
Queenstown traffic, use 630, we're just heading onto the runway now, we're going to roll to the end and turn around takeoff. We'll let you guys know once you've departed, and if you want, we'll give you a lot of how the wind's off.
Roger, thanks.
Okay, let's slow down. What's your airspeed now, David?
290 knots indicated on descent.
Okay. I was 290, but I'm just reducing to 270 right now. Okay, engine start switches to continuous. Folks were already in their seatbelts, I think. Okay, LRAV was 8.9. So that's decimal 6. Decimal 6. So it'll be 145.5. 145.5. What that means is 100 and...
traffic velocity 143, leading 3704. Runway 23, looked up, full Bravo arrival estimated arrival time. Time 57.
Need to be 230 knots at EVOX. I suggest we slow down a little bit more, because David's going to be slowing down before we slow down. Alright, let's dial down the next altitude. Let's make it 7,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you store any electronic devices until you are safely parked at the gate, as use of such devices could interfere with the electronic landing equipment on board the aircraft. In final preparation for landing, Please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened, your seatbacks are in the upright position, and your tray tables are stowed. Any hand luggage should be underneath the seat in front of you or placed in the overhead locker. The flight attendants will be passing through the cabin one last time to complete their final compliance check and to collect any remaining cups or glasses.
Chris, hopefully you'll sneak in
Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 630.
just before the velocity aircraft
It's
that's coming in
about
from Melbourne.
12-13 knots
sneak in
directly
just before
down the
him, hopefully.
runway, so you guys should be completely fine. Queenstown traffic.
Yeah, say again, I was disrupted with the heating company stuff.
Yeah, there's a velocity coming in off the Tasman from Melbourne. You should be able to hopefully sneak in just before him.
Yeah, I heard that. He's arriving 57, I agree. 51.
I'm at 230 knots now.
Roger.
I'll be hand flying for the landing. I guess we'll get configured well before I'm going to be doing that. So there's the 10
Yeah, there's turbulence below 10,000.
Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 607, overhead initial approach point at Kill on descent through 9,500. Estimating landing runway 23, one on the ground, Queenstown 0242, traffic Queenstown.
Queenstown traffic. Bonds 838 is overhead waypoint at Kill. Expected landing time is 0246 Zulu. Queenstown traffic. Alright, let's dial down to 5100. Where we should, once we go manual, reset the altitude to 10,000. At group over here, yeah, there's a decel. So we want to try to hit at group at 210 knots. 210 at group. 210 airport will need flaps 1. Oops. Let's go ahead, flaps 1.
Cabin crew, take your seats for landing.
Terrain inhibit. We know we're gonna face that. Okay, let's do flaps 5. We can go slower rather than faster, and we need to go down. Touchdown is 1,100. Okay, let's go 180 knots. Let's do gear down.
Queenstown, New Zealand, 607, 10 mile final, runway 23. Traffic Queenstown.
Flaps 15, speed check is 200 knots. Let's go flaps 15. Knots. Down to where we need to be. Queenstown traffic, Bonza 838 is 10 miles final. Runway 23, Queenstown traffic. I think we need to slow down further. Let's do a flaps 30. Oh, 7 knots.
Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 607, 5 mile final, runway 23, traffic Queenstown.
Okay, let's get configured with flaps 40 and NZWN 146 knots. All the landing lights on. Oh, we got visual. There's David. I have visual of David. There we go. There's the airfield.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Queenstown traffic on 838 is 4 miles final, runway 23. Queenstown traffic. Okay, autopilot disconnect. Check. Landing checklist. Engine start switches to continuous. Recall checked. And landing gear set and flaps set. Okay, let's get correct.
Queenstown traffic.
Approaching 2, 3.
Runway 23. Taxi for Bay 3. Queenstown traffic.
Check. 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 Auto throttle disconnect.
200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Max manual.
3,000 remaining. 2,000 remaining. Approaching on runway 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, it will take the captain a few moments to taxi to the gate, and we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft comes to a complete stop at the gate.
Queenstown traffic on 838 is vacated the runway.
We also ask that you keep the aisle clear of any hand luggage.
Boy.
This is the termination of our flight, so we ask that you check the seatbelt pockets and overhead lockers for any articles you may have brought with you. Extra care should be taken when opening overhead lockers, as some items may have shifted during our flight.
That was
On
Harry.
behalf of the captain and his crew, we would like to thank you for flying with us and wish you all a pleasant stay. Thank you.
APU bleeds on. There's David in what appears to be a regional jet, but in fact he's a 737. hot those brakes are. 4.2s and 4.3s, I see. Okay, parked at 250. Parked at 250. Let's get ground power on. Ground power is on, and APU bleed off. APU off. And let the folks out of their seat. So fuel remaining is 7,931, and elapsed time was 1 hour and 2 minutes and 53 seconds. That's pretty good. Let's take a gander at where Chris is. Yeah, he's coming in. If I get very low, you might be able to see him coming in. All right. There comes Chris. Let's do the deboarding.
The boarding requested.
So let's see if we can get a picture of all three of us.
Passengers bus is coming.
Queenstown traffic velocity 143, 8 miles, 23.
Boy, that was excellent.
Yeah, the turbulence was bad coming in.
I didn't play with approach mode at all, and I intended to, once I went manual, to reset the MCP altitude to 10,000, but I forgot to do that. Yeah, I always forget that. You'll have to take some pictures, David, because you are a regional jet to me.
I see him as a New Zealand 320. You know, David, I don't know if I told you before. I had this. I paid for this subscription for a this Microsoft 2020 map enhancement, and I didn't use it today. And there's a
Okay,
big
we are
difference in the
deboarding.
scenery, man. The mountains and all that.
Is that using Google Maps?
Yeah, you got your choice of using either Google Maps or using Bing. So I use Bing most of the time. And the last time we flew here into Queenstown, the mountains, the terrain, you can see the trees and everything. This time it's just a little washed out kind of look on the mountains. I mean, you got the green and all that, but you don't have like vegetation that you can see.
Okay, yeah, it looked a bit dry when I was coming in, but I know that area is under drought at the moment. But I'm sure it's just you're quite right that the Bing imagery isn't as good as Google. The other thing
Yeah,
I've installed at Sim Plaza, there's a little app called RealTurb, and
Okay,
it
you guys should
simulates.
watch the landing.
Yeah, here comes Velocity.
So
Well, in the old days, it used to be Pacific Blue.
he's coming from Melbourne.
Yep.
Oh, 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 oh! What happened?
Yeah, he just dropped.
You think that's just a VATSIM thing?
Well, VATSIM vPilot's meant to update at some crazy rate, so I guess it depends on, yeah, if he's running Microsoft P3D, X-Plane, or something else. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. The scenery might have a different altitude for the runway. There's lots of little things that can affect that.
There's no place for him to park.
You should go around the corner to the international terminal anyway.
Yeah, 6 is vacant, 7 is vacant. Or it's
Yeah,
going
so
to 1.
Chris. Yeah, Chris, I've downloaded an app from Simplaza called RealTurb, and it injects in turbulence based on the mountainous terrain around you. So it looks at the topography and looks at the winds and tries to simulate lift and sink and wind shear and injects that in. Not 100% happy with it, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it later. But like I said, I can see the difference in my scenery with that map enhancement app that I purchased for 2020, and I'll start keep using that now because I just wanted to try today without it and see how it looks like, because I know we flew in last time and it looked pretty nice. Now this time it just looked a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah, certainly Google Earth is better than Bing.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed that flight. And we will catch you on the next sector, which I don't know what it's going to be, but maybe I'll put a notice out on my YouTube channel. All right. Ciao for now. Hope you enjoyed that with the flaps 25 and bleeds off takeoff, and also the pretty tight winding landing, arrival and landing into Queenstown. Ciao for now.